It's late. 2 minutes late. Where are you? I'm going a little later today. I see someone's here. Hey! Oh, I'm so glad. I saw obviously quite a bit later than when you had sent me the Instagram comment that asked, I can't speak right now, asking me when I was going live. So I didn't see it until I got home, but yes, I am here. Hi, Debbie. That's my cousin. She's amazing. I've had such a good day today. I am so, oh my gosh, I'm like super giddy today. Lots of good things, unexpected things, just awesome, fun stuff happening today. So I'm excited. And you both thumbs up. Thank you. What are you guys up to today? Hi, Sue. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, good days. Good days are good things, right? We'll take as many of them as we can get. Store them up and keep them, you know, for the days that aren't so good so we can remember and be thankful, right? Definitely. Yeah. Tuesdays have quickly become like one of my favorite days, so I love that I get to go to Bible study now every week and get to come on here, so I have both things to look forward to. Oh, thank you so much. I have my that time of the year palette on, kind of recreation of that one look. Ooh, ouch, Sue, I'm sorry. I hope you heal up fast and aren't in too much pain. That's not fun. I keep coming on here with my shoes on when I get home. I do like these shoes. They're really cute. It's so funny. This is the same outfit that I wore. Oh, what I was saying though, this is a recreation of the one look that I did in my 3 looks with the palette. Ooh. You need to get yourself lots of rest to psych up for watching the grandbabies. I can imagine that's super exciting and fun and extremely tiring. But this outfit, I don't know if these earrings were the ones I wore. They probably were. Is the outfit I wore for Thanksgiving last year. So kind of funny. This is just it's like a long tank kind of thing that comes up a little bit. And just this, and then I have black leggings, and I'll show you my shoe. I like to do this awkward thing when I come on live and lift my leg up and show you guys. So then I've got my little Seychelles booties on. These are so comfortable and so cute. I love these. So that is my outfit of the day for Bible study. I actually had, so I'm coming on later today because I went to Bible study, and that's from 9:30 to 11. And, yes, Debbie's got the cute grandbabies too. Yeah, so 9:30 to 11 is Bible study, and then I went out to eat with my good friend Shannon. We've been trying to do this since Bible study started, but either she had a kid that wasn't feeling well, then I had a migraine, then she wasn't feeling well, and so we were like, okay, finally today. So we went out to eat, and we were out to eat till like 2. So from probably about 11:30 to 2, we were at the restaurant. And then, thank you. And then I headed back home, well, home direction. And I was going into where I used to work. I like to stop in there on Tuesdays and just say hi to my former coworkers and pick some stuff up. Wow, 13. And then, I started talking to people in there, and our RC Cola, I say our, I still call that store mine and say our stuff, like we're getting this in, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with me anymore, but I can't help it. The RC Cola vendor was there who, I mean, you know, I knew all those guys and stuff. And so I started talking to him and whatever. And so I was standing there for, I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes talking to the 3 people that were working there, my 2 coworkers, former coworkers, and him. And then I went over to the post office because I had to ship the giveaway package for my sneaky giveaway that was on my my first House Laboratories Love for Sale palette video. I didn't put anything about it on the video, but I put it on Instagram and in my community tab that I was doing a sneaky giveaway. So anyone who commented would be entered. And the winner was Young at Heart, aka Carla. And so she already knew that and stuff. And so I was sending out her package. So that is a lot of little humans running around. I went to the post office, still apprehensive that I'm going to see the poor man who thought I was saying I wanted to have lunch with him. And, but it wasn't. It was Chris, the lady that works in there. And so she and I got talking. We were talking for like 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden I could see someone was coming in with like a package, whatever. And then I hear something, Danielle, whatever. And I looked over and it was the lady who, okay, I graduated with her son. My husband and I graduated with her son. My husband and her son were like best friends all growing up. And she still comes over every year on my husband's birthday and brings some kind of treats and little gifts. And my kids have, from when they were little, they all have, which I will never get rid of these. I'll keep them if they decide they want them for their kids at some point, fine. Or if they just want to keep them with me, that I read to their kids. But she has like a library of kids books that she gave to my kids throughout the years that she would write special messages in. So I've got all those. But they love, still to this day, when Mrs. Shively is coming over. Like, they get so excited because she's just amazing. And so, yeah, so I was so excited. So I stood and talked to her for probably 15 minutes. So then by the time I was getting home, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start this live kind of late compared to what I have been trying to do. But that's why I didn't put a time on it, because I want things like that to be able to happen. Wow. You know, I want to be able to spend as much time out to lunch with a friend as I can. Hello. And I want to be able to, you know, stop in and see my old coworkers and talk to them for as long as I feel like it, and talk to the lady at the post office and whatever, you know. So that's why I don't put an actual time for the lives on Tuesday. They will just be sometime Tuesday afternoon. Might be earlier afternoon, might be later, depending on what I'm doing. But that's what I was like, oh my gosh, when I saw her at the post office, I'm like, what an extra special blessing today. I'm like, I was at Bible study this morning, now I get to see you. And she goes, see, God wanted us to see each other today. And I was like, I think so, because she just makes me so happy. So it's just been a good day filled with like happy little blessings. So I'm happy to be here enjoying it and feeling good. And yes, any day without a migraine is a good day. But well, I don't know. I think I'll go ahead. There were only a few more of the Q&A questions left. So I figured I would. Yes, it has been a wonderful day. And then I came home and Brian was home and I was like, why is he home? Which he was like, I'm starting to worry about you, because I'm like, okay, she said she was on her way home. And he knew I was going to stop a couple places, but it shouldn't take me that long, you know. And I'm like, well, I got talking to. I said, I got people to talk to, all right? Like, leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I did say that, but he knew I was joking. And so he's like, yeah, I guess so, whatever. You know, the lady at the post office, like, we hang out, okay? But, yeah, so he was here because he was finishing. We had one little tiny section of our deck left to stain because we ran out of stain. And since we have been having a lot of rainy days, there hasn't been enough time where there's not rain so that things can dry out and that you can get it put on and then still have a couple days of dry for it to dry. So this is like the sweet spot today. So he came home early from work to just do that last little spot. And then he went back because he'll work into the evening now because my son's there. It is. That's the best thing when you're just out doing stuff. Sometimes it's the mundane things of life and you run into somebody you haven't seen in a long time and it's just like so exciting to see them. I absolutely love that. And another thing I'm super excited about today is at Bible study. So I've been telling you about that lady Noni. She actually wasn't there today, but another girl who sits at the table that I'm at most of the time. She wasn't at our table last week, but she was there this week. But kind of just getting to know her. And so she asked me what the name of my channel was and stuff. And then she sent me a text earlier and said, you know, like that she was following me on my channel and stuff. So I'm super excited about that. Just making new friends and getting out. You guys, I have missed this so much from when I was working and wasn't doing these things that I love. Like just getting the interaction on Sunday mornings, to be able to stand out in the foyer at church and talk to people, and just I've missed it so much, and I didn't realize exactly how much I did until now getting back to it. And it's just like I'm so filled with joy I can hardly stand it. I'm like just ball of joy. And just, yeah, I absolutely love it so much. So excited to get to meet new people and know new people. And we kind of started a little bit of a new series at Bible study today. And so that's really cool. And it's about how, you know, we need to speak into each other's lives, and we need to come alongside each other, and we need people to mentor us, and we need to mentor people. And that as Christians, you know, our greatest goal should be to follow the example of Christ. And so that if people are following us, they're following him because we're following his example. And so I absolutely love that. And that's what I want more than anything. Aw, thank you. I know I've been noticing. Aw, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. Yay. I haven't been noticing my eye wrinkles a lot more lately, but I'm like, you know what? I've been smiling a lot more. So bring on the wrinkles. I don't care. Like, if I've got so much joy that I'm smiling all the time and it's making me extra wrinkly, whatever. I'll take it. It's kind of funny though. I did last night use my Oya skincare patches, and I'm going to use them every day this week and just see, because I haven't used them in a while, and I'm like, I know that, like, I always see results like right away when I take them off, but then, you know, it fades throughout the day. But the more consistently you wear them, the more results you see. And I'm like, I haven't used those in a while and stuff, so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to wear those this week, and just so then this weekend when we go do stuff, I feel maybe extra like youthful. but yeah, things are good. Things are really good. All right, so this next question is from Leanne Sorreo, who I absolutely adore, and it's, what's your biggest pet peeve in the beauty community? Don't even get me started. I'm just kidding. My biggest pet peeve in the beauty community. I think, I don't know if it's really, I don't know. I think there's always, when you get groups of women together, a lot of times there's a little bit of like a competitive thing. I don't feel like with our core group of people, and I mean, there's so many people that I could name on that list of people. I mean, Debbie, Senia, Riri, which is the brutally honest beauty. I mean, Clara. I mean, there's so many people. Rena from Boxes and Deals. There's like a big group of us who, you know, kind of interact with each other, and we have a lot of the same subscribers and things like that. We all get along so awesome. I do not feel a single bit of like competitiveness of any kind or jealousy or anything like that between this group of women. And I think maybe that's why we stay, you know, gravitated to each other, because we enjoy each other and there's not that feeling. I feel like anytime you have overpriced products, yes, that's definitely true. As far as like the beauty community, like online, I feel like anytime you get groups of women together, typically, there's a lot of like that, just that cattiness and competition with things. And so that's something that like I see sometimes in other people's channels, or I hear about things like people complain about different stuff. You know, the inability to be happy for other people when they have cool things happen is very sad. And so that's something that annoys me. A lot of times you see, I can't stand how like the big influencers, like their interactions, and there's always like drama and stuff. Like, seriously, people, this is makeup, get a grip. And like, and then some of like their personal life things that they bring in, like, just, I don't feel like need to even be a part of the beauty community. So I don't know, it's just kind of weird. That kind of stuff bugs me. Otherwise, though, I don't really, there's not really anything that is like a pet peeve of mine with the beauty community. Like, I enjoy it. I take from it what I enjoy, and I try to bring to it things that I enjoy and things that I feel are positive, and add things besides it just being about beauty. But, you know, things that I think are, yes, Debbie, no drama allowed around here. Just don't even bring it. Take it somewhere else, because we don't want it. But like, yeah, I want to bring something more to this space and to the people that I get to talk to and things like that. And just be positive and loving and yeah, just, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't have any like major pet peeves, I wouldn't say. And then she asked, what is your goal for your channel? It's funny because I don't really have a goal for my channel. When I first started out, I didn't even think, and I'm sure a lot of people will say this, like they didn't think anybody really would watch. And I kind of thought the same thing. I'm like, I'll have like a couple people who, you know, for whatever reason will, you know, talk to me. I don't know. Or like want to, I don't know, interact. But like I never would have thought that I would come this far. And my channel has grown very slowly comparatively to a lot of channels. Like there's some people that I've just over this past year started watching, and some of them are actually more like lifestyle channels, and they just started and are already ahead of where I am as far as subscribers and views. Like my videos don't get a lot of views, things like that. But I do have a lot of communication in my comments, a lot more than some of these people who have like way more subscribers and more views and stuff, but they don't have interaction. And for me, that's much more important to me, because that's who I am. That's what I enjoy, is that connection. So so as far as like a goal, I don't have a goal for like how many subscribers I hope to have, or yes, we'll bust kneecaps. Hi, Penny. Hello. Oh, thank you so much, Sally. I was saying this is the outfit I wore for Thanksgiving last year. It's kind of funny. I said, I think I probably wore the same earrings too. I'm not positive, but I probably did. My hair was different, but yeah, I don't have a goal for like numbers of things or how much money I want to make, or like this being something that brings me in like a living. I don't ever see that happening anyway. I just want to pour into it what I enjoy, and then whatever comes back from it, awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really have like a goal. I guess my goal would be to just be like a positive light in this space, and whatever comes from that, then awesome, you know? And then she said, how are you feeling now that you're not working? I think we've already established I'm feeling very good. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I went into the store today where I used to work, and I went there last week, and I wanted creamer. Like I use this, it's actually the store brand's sugar-free vanilla creamer, and it's like the powdered kind. And then I wanted Q-tips and toilet bowl cleaner. And they did not have Q-tips or toilet bowl cleaner, and there was only one thing of creamer. So I was like, I took it. So today, hi Anne, I'm so glad you're here. And yes, I know I say that to everybody, but I am glad that all of you are here. That is the absolute truth. And so today I went in and I was like, okay, I need the same things. I wanted to get another creamer just because I want to grab it, and Q-tips, toilet bowl cleaner, and tampons. Yay! And so it's really exciting list there. And I went in, guess what I came out with? Tampons, because there still was none of the other stuff. So the poor store is struggling, and I'm in there and I'm just like, oh, I am so glad that I am not dealing with this. Like, it's not me anymore. I heard a lady saying, yes, they're kind of important. I heard a lady saying, well, you need to tell them they need to order this. And the poor girl that I used to work with is like, we actually don't have a say in what gets ordered. The store, you know, corporate just sends whatever they want to. Oh, Penny, I envy you. Hey, Mama Glow. Yay. Look at all my favorite gals coming in here. But yeah, so I'm like, it's all the same headache all the time. And so then talking to the RC Cola guy, and just, you know, and he's like, oh, you got out of here at a good time. Like, I don't blame you at all. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm really glad I left. So yeah, I'm very happy to not be working. I'm feeling fantastic. Getting to do all the stuff that I love, that I haven't been able to do in years. And like, yeah, like the little bit of joy that work kind of brought me in like some areas, but they were very small. Definitely do not compare to the big joys that I get from the stuff that I'm able to do again now. And then Sue, Celestial Rogue, asked me, do you have any hobbies besides YouTube? I actually do. I love reading. Absolutely love reading. I don't read it as much as I used to. And so I need to start making that more of a priority, because it is something that I absolutely love so much. And actually, I'll show you. I've got right here my Chronicles of Narnia, and you can see where my bookmark is. So I'm over halfway through. in perfect time because now you can enjoy the holidays. Yes. Oh my gosh, the holidays in retail, miserable. So yes, I am very happy about that. But yeah, so the Chronicles of Narnia, I've been reading for a while. I read more than one book at a time. It's just how I am. So this has been going for quite some time, but I absolutely love it. It just makes me happy. And so actually, I think my son, oh no, I wrote her somewhere on the front because I was going to say my oldest son one time, this is hilarious because none of my boys are readers. Yes, reading by the picture window. Yes, and I love it in the winter. I really love to curl up like that and read. So now I'm gonna have all sorts of time to do that. Oh, it's gonna be wonderful. But yeah, my oldest son, we were at Sam's Club one time, and this book was there, and he wanted it. I'm like, really? You don't even read? And so he kept asking for it. Well, Christmas was not far away. And I'm like, no, we're not buying stuff right now. You know, it's Christmas time. Like, if you want something, put it on a list. And he was so upset. Oh, I totally get that, Penny, because it takes the joy out of it. If you feel like you're on a timeline and there's expectations, where if you can just do it, oh, thank you. If you can just do something like that you love to bake and stuff, then, I'm sorry. It's still awesome. You still get, reading is awesome. I just love reading. But yeah, getting to do things that you love, like baking and stuff like that, because it's something you enjoy and you're doing it because of the love of it, is much different than doing it because you have like a fulfillment that you have to make, you know, kind of thing. So I totally get that. But yeah, he was so upset. Like, I mean, he was mad. He wouldn't even talk. That's kind of his personality. He's like, if he gets upset about something, he's like gonna hold out. And so he was so upset about this book, right? So I bought it for him for Christmas. Do you think that boy read this book? I don't even know if I think he did start to read it. Like, I think he might have got like a chapter or something, and I'd have to ask him. He's 22 now. This was like when he was like 12, I think, or maybe he might have been younger than that. But yeah, so a couple months ago, or it's been more than that, a few months ago, decided I'm going to read that. And I stinking love it. Like, it makes me smile while I'm reading it. I just love it. Like the imagery of it and stuff. And I just absolutely love it. So yes, I love to read. That's a hobby that I have. I also really enjoy crocheting. The Love Dare. No, was that a movie? I'm trying to picture. Books are hard to get rid of. There's something about books. I actually have been donating some, but The Love Dare. Is that I'm trying to picture. Okay, yes. Okay, I did see it. I don't think I read the book, though. Now that I'm thinking about it. But I love all sorts of books. Like, my favorite books are like mystery, thriller kind of ones. Okay, I will definitely, yes, because, okay, I do remember that it was a book also. Oh, that's awesome, Sue. That's the thing. I have all these books that were like my kids when they were younger and stuff. And like I worked in preschool for a while, so I would get like the Scholastic for really cheap. So I bought about a bunch of kids' books too. But like I said, that mom of the guy that we went to school with and stuff, that was my husband's best friend when he was growing up, she like gave my kids a library of books, and they all have special things written in them, like from when they were little. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. So I will keep those forever. But yeah, I also like to crochet is another thing that I really enjoy doing. I don't do it much. I don't do it like at all in the summer and stuff. I usually do it starting like this time of year because actually for the last probably 3 or 4 years, some of the things I've enjoyed crocheting are little like clothes and accessories for my niece's Elf on the Shelf. It's so much fun. Like I made it like a little mermaid tail blanket. I made a little apron. I made like a hat and scarf, like the hat with a little pom-pom and whatever, like a little, what do they call it? A toque. What else did I make for that? I've made a few different things for her elf. And so that is really fun to me. Aww. I just like doing stuff like that. I used to make a lot of like newborn hats and take them to the hospital and donate them. I don't even know if you could do that now after COVID stuff, but So I used to love doing that, and it was cute because there were a couple of times where I would be like at the pediatrician or something, and I would see a baby with one of the hats on that I made, and so that was super exciting. And I like to make like crochet things as gifts. I've given a lot of. I like to make like the ear warmer headbands, but then I personalize them. So like I made Leanne Sorreo, loves cats. She's got all sorts of cute cats, and so I made her one with a cat on it. I made her black cat Baxter. Oh, Beatrice Potter. I don't know the other name. Okay, I've never quilted. Um, and then I made Lucy Pert, who lives in England. I made her one with, she loves skulls. So the ear band is black, but then I made the skull was like a hot pink. And so I like to do stuff like that, like crochet and things like that. I've crocheted blankets, like for people's babies, and I've never picked up knitting. I always wanted to try it, but I could never. I think I need someone to actually sit with me and show me how to do it. Crochet, my grandma taught me just a basic chain stitch when I was little. Little, I was probably like 10 or something. I mean, I guess it's little. And then to go back, and stuff. And so that I could make like a scarf or a blanket like that, just a very basic. But then I taught myself. I actually bought, oh, okay, British author. I actually bought from Joanne Fabrics, I think. It was, I taught myself to knit, I taught myself to crochet. I did by myself, I taught myself to knit, but I never did learn. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I don't feel like that at all. I'm just, I don't know. Oh, awesome. See, and I used to cross stitch a ton. I haven't cross stitched in years. I still have all the stuff, I think, but I have not done it in a really long time. I started like a big Thomas Kincaid thing that I was cross stitching. Didn't get very far. But I used to cross stitch things for gifts all the time. Hey, Vanessa, how are you? But yeah, I love to like make things like that. But I usually do it in the winter months, like sitting on the couch watching like, corny Christmas movies or something and crochet. Like that's relaxing to me. But yeah, I bought that. I taught myself to crochet. It came with a book and like crochet hook and stuff. And then I taught myself, and then I have like a little pamphlet thing that has a bunch of different stitches in it so I can easily look at it. Aw, cool. Thank you so much. I'm so glad too. Um, but yeah, so I enjoy doing that. I wouldn't call it talent. I just mess with stuff and hope it turns out good. It's like the same that I do with makeup. It's just fun to me, and I just see what happens. And I actually have been pretty amazed. Hold on just a second. I'm going to grab something to show you. Can't get into your yarn. I get it. Okay, just a second. I'm going to show you something I crocheted that I'm very proud of. Okay, I'm back. Oh, thank you. First off, and I know some of you already know about these because some of you have them, but I made these little pumpkins a few years ago because I know I gave Debbie some. I think I sent Leanne and Anya, and so I do know I sent some of these to people, but so I made the little pumpkins, and then I just and I like hot glued these in. Yeah, I know. And so there's a little orange and a gray, and then this bigger like mustard color one. Thank you. So those actually I've had sitting on my bedroom counter. Yeah, because everyone has a counter in their bedroom. Oh my goodness, my thank you, on my dresser. And then this, I actually was so proud of myself when I made this. It was a pattern. I had never tried anything like it before, but it is a winter hat, but it kind of has, oh cool, Sue, that'll be fun. So it's got like this tab part that this actually does hook onto the button. I loved the button that I picked. This is like a kind of like wood thing. Oh, no problem, Debbie. Enjoy your grandbabies. Have fun. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I loved just the way like I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There's like these lines that go down on a diagonal. You can't really see it on the, but anyway, I like love it. I'll put it on and mess up my hair to show you. But so it looks like this. And it matches my winter coat. So that's what I'll wear in the winter. Aw. Yes, you wouldn't be allergic to those. Hey, Faye! Aw, thank you. Yeah, this was quite a few years ago when I made this, so I'd have to find the pattern again and try it out, but yeah, I do love to make, maybe I'll do that. Maybe that'll be something I'll do. Like maybe I'll make like one of my like cute ear warmer type things, maybe like a couple of crochet things and do like a little giveaway, and if people are interested in that, whatever. Um, you know, something special designed by Glamber just for you. But so that is a hobby that I have that I do enjoy. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but well, because truthfully, YouTube takes up a lot of my time. Like I watch a lot of people's channels, and I'm working on YouTube stuff, so I don't do like those hobby things as much as I used to, but I do still do them some and enjoy it. But oh, this is from Kathleen. Oh, I bet. Yeah, having a lot of hair. I wish I had that problem. Autograph it. You're so cute. um, and yeah, Kathleen from Design and Entertaining said, how do you disinfect eyeshadow brushes and eyeshadows? Like my brushes, I just do, I actually use baby shampoo to wash my eye brushes. And so that's what I do there. And if you want to disinfect an eyeshadow palette, all you have to do is get like a little spray bottle and put 70% alcohol in it, and you can just spray it on the shadows. And actually, a lot of times though, what I will do, sometimes I'll scrape the top layer of the shadows and kind of get it off and then spray with the alcohol. Like if I buy something from, say, like Poshmark or something, that was a palette that wasn't brand new. Or sometimes just I'll take like clean brushes and do one in each color and just kind of take the top layer off before I spray it. And so that's what I do to disinfect like eyeshadow palettes. I know some people, like if they're sick, they like to disinfect the eyeshadow palette they used or something, or people get like freaked out about blowing on your eyeshadows. I blow on my eyeshadows all the time. Oh yeah, maybe to fit her hair in. But I've never actually heard of somebody getting sick from or something from there. Hey, Stacy! Stacy is one of the lovely women who do the Thrifted Look for Less challenge that we just did on Sunday. So if you guys haven't seen those videos yet, that I had so much fun doing that. So much fun. Like my little 70s loving heart was just seriously feeling it. But yeah. And then oh, Melissa Freeman said, I think I heard you mention when we move. Are you moving and why? Thank you. Thank you so much. I had so much fun with that. That was like my favorite one by far. Everybody did awesome on that one. That was really fun. We are not moving. Like I don't have plans to move anytime very soon. I do want to move eventually. We do. Because, well, for a couple reasons. The main reason being, okay, well, no, I'll tell you the main reason after. I'll tell you the stupid reasons first. One being the barn across the street that you see out that picture window that is absolutely beautiful is falling. And you can't really tell from like pictures or the videos and stuff, but it is, the one end of it is completely collapsing in. They're just letting it happen. So it will fall. And when it does, I mean, a lot of that stuff takes a really long time, but still, behind them is just all open field. And then it goes to like maybe a house or two and then open field again. And then, but there's field behind the houses. So you can kind of see all the way through. Oh, don't be nervous. Anne, you did awesome. Your outfits were super cute. And then there's like way down on the end is like a gas station, and you could see it from here, I think. Thrifting is so much fun. I have ridiculous amount of fun. Actually, the couple, they're in their 60s that own that house. My sister graduated with their daughter. They go out and cut that grass all the time. They have 2 riding mowers, and they both go out and they have their like method that they do it, and they do it, you know, in the summer when things are crazy, a couple times a week. But or sometimes even 3 days a week if we get a lot of, you know, rain, but where it's drying up but the grass is growing like crazy. But yeah, they have it down really good. We have 2 acres, and we don't mow all the way back though, because back behind us there's like a creek. That's not on our property, it's right behind our property. But so there's actually, it gets pretty wet back there, but also we have like deer that bed down back there and stuff, so we don't go all the way back. We leave it kind of natural back there, which I love, because then the deer and stuff can be back there. But yeah, so my husband does ours with a riding lawnmower, but yeah, it's, so that barn is going to fall eventually, and I'm not going to love that view out that window. Also, we have people moving in next door. We originally wanted to buy the piece of property next to us that was vacant, and the man was asking way too much for it. Yes, they do need that space. I mean, we live out in the country, so there's a lot of space around here, but I like having right there where the deer and stuff would be. We'll get to that part too. So, yes, we really wanted to buy that piece of property next to us. Oh, look at my Halloween nails, by the way. I'm seeing them as I'm talking. And yeah, the man was asking way, way too much. It was like ridiculous. And so, thank you. Then like a realtor who someone we know, we saw putting out a sign, and he's like, it's never gonna sell. The guy's asking way too much. Like, don't worry about it. I'll let you know, I'll give you a heads up if things go lower or something. Well, like 2 weeks later, someone bought the property. And so we're super disappointed, and they cleared it all, and we didn't see the deer for a little bit. Then the deer came back, and so we're like, okay. Well, then they moved like, and these people are super nice. So I'm not saying anything bad about them. They're very nice people. In fact, we have each other's number, and she texts me about stuff, and like, she's super nice. And they brought this, thank you. They brought a big motorhome out here to be able to stay in, because they're not gonna be able to move their house out here for a couple of years. They're moving a house out here. And, when they moved the motorhome around a couple times, the deer have not been back. And so we have not seen our deer, which have been here for years. I mean, we've lived here for 11, I think it's almost 12. No, 11 years. Something like that. Yeah, and the deer have not been back. So we are very disappointed about that, because it's something we've always loved about living here. And so, I mean, they would come in our backyard every night, like a lot of times in the mornings too. Even this year they came in the front yard the one night, and we were like, what the heck? One day a couple years ago, I was sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden I saw out of the corner of my eye something, and a deer was standing looking at me in our front window. It is sad, and it's something that I have enjoyed so much about living in the country and living where we live. And so that kind of ruined that. And of course, I wouldn't want to say that to them. I don't want to hurt their feelings. Like, they're not doing anything wrong by wanting to move there, But so that's disappointing. And the main reason though that we want to move is our house is small. It's fine. I mean, it's a decent size. I can't remember if it's 1490. I think it's around 1500 square feet. So that's not small, but it's not big. And it's fine except for, oh, bye. Thank you for being here. We want to have a space where our kids and grandkids can come. And I'm sorry, I was kind of reading something that was on there. We don't have the space for that. Like, our living room is very small. Well, you guys have seen it if you see like the videos of, my home decor or whatever, or Halloween decor and stuff. Our living room's very small, and then our kitchen is open off of it. But, aw, how fun. I always love that. So we just don't have to, no problem, have like, once our kids have kids and we want to have a space for them to all come over, we don't have that space. And that's something that I've always enjoyed so much about like my mom and dad's house. And even like my in-laws, their house isn't big. They have a tri-level, but like when everyone comes over, to be able to be like, we put a big table in the living room, and there's the one in the dining room that are open to each other with the kitchen. And then the room downstairs, like the kids can go down there and stuff, but we're all still kind of connected. So that's always nice. And then my parents have a big log home that, you know, it's basically one big open room for the living kitchen area. And then there's like a loft, and there's places for beds and stuff like that. So we all, you know, can stay the night and stuff. And so that is something that I love so much, is to be able to have all of the family in one spot, you know, and not be separated from each other in different rooms. So we already knew that if we stayed here, we were going to build an addition off the back of the house. But since, given the, that the barn is going to fall, that there's going to be neighbors right close there, and that has kind of taken away from like privacy and the, you know, deer and all that kind of stuff, it's just not the place for us. Like we know that's kind of like our cue that this isn't our forever home, and that's totally fine. And so we eventually want to move somewhere where we've got, like, it would be great to have a finished basement, but also I love ranch houses, ranch style houses. That's what I grew up in. There has only been one house I've lived in that wasn't a ranch style house, and that was the house, my husband and I's first house that we bought. And then since then we've had 2 ranches, and that's just what I love. Have a cat in my lap. That's okay. But yeah, so we know we want a ranch style house, you know, open big enough to have space. We want to have bedrooms where grandkids can spend the night and stuff like that. But having like a finished basement would be awesome. I will never have laundry in a basement again. I had that in my house that was a 2-story house. So our first house was a really little 2-story house. It was really cool. It was built in like 1930. It was a really cute house. But like our laundry was in the basement and stuff, and I hated that so much. And as you get older, that's not practical. And so our second house was a ranch, and it was actually bigger than the house we live in now, but it didn't have a basement. And then this house is, because our last house was like 1,700 square feet. And then our house now is about 1,500, and we have a basement, but it's not a finished basement. And so, but the kids still utilize that downstairs space, which is awesome. And, but it's just not something that we could use, you know. Hey, Christy, how are you feeling? Yeah, stairs in general are not good for when you get older. And that's my in-laws. They built their house, I think in 77 or 78. Because yeah, I think it was right before my husband was born. So I think they built it in 77. He was born in 78. But you know, they said they built this tri-level. Well, they have stairs to go up or down, like to get to either bathroom or anything like that. Oh, good. I'm so glad. And they said they never would have done that. If they had thought ahead of time to when they got older, they never would have built that kind of a house. And so that's just something, I mean, like I said, I grew up in ranch, you know, houses. So that's just what I like. And so, yeah, definitely we want to have a ranch style house where all of your stuff you need is on one floor. But it would be nice to have a finished basement so there is a space while we're, you know, young enough to be able to do stairs and stuff. Yeah, it's such a pain with laundry in the basement. Ooh, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing too. If you have if you get knee issues or anything like that, like stairs are killer. So definitely don't want that. Yes, exactly, Penny. One level and a basement for weather if need be. I love that we have the basement. If there's a tornado, something, we just go in the basement. Like that is something I did not like about our last house. I loved our last house. I loved the layout of it and everything. We had a fireplace, which I love. The next house will have oh yeah, we had a laundry chute too in our house that was built in 1930. It was so cute. In the bathroom, little door, and you drop your stuff down. And my husband had so in the basement there was like an area that was carpeted and stuff. And so he had like his computer for work stuff down there, and he would be down there, and he's like, I remember, he just said it the other day too. He goes, I remember being like down working on my computer and seeing something out of the corner of my eye, and it was like clothes falling from the laundry chute. That's funny. And kids loved to put toys down it. Well, actually, it was just my oldest, because he was the only one. All 3 of them. That's so funny. But yeah, I would like to have a finished basement for that space for kids, or to even have like, family party things and stuff like that. But, cause it'd be awesome to have one like with a bathroom down there and stuff. But, I don't want like my laundry or anything that I'm gonna need when I get older to be down there. Like if we couldn't do stairs anymore, I wanted, you know, that to not be an issue. So that is, we do not have like, quick plans to move anywhere. I hope to see us moving in the next like 3 years, but nothing's concrete. But yeah, we will move eventually to what I hope will be our forever home. That's kind of my mindset. Something that's big enough to accommodate family and where we can grow old. Yep, that's good too. We had a crawl space in our last house with a visqueen floor, which is basically like a thick plastic. And no, wouldn't that be nice? Sally, I would say yes, so I could be near you, but I need fall and winter, and I'm way too much of a Christmas girl, and Christmas to me is snow and, all that kind of stuff. And I love the fall weather so much. So as much as I think these tropical places are so beautiful, I know I wouldn't be happy because I need those season changes. It's funny, like I feel like I actually need them. Like it's like a refreshing and renewing thing for me as the seasons change and just different stuff happening. I feel like it gives me always something to look forward to, kind of. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy that. So, and then there's only one question left, and it is from Young at Heart, aka Carla, which if you didn't hear me mention, she won my sneaky giveaway for that I did and my first Love for Sale palette video. It didn't say anything about it on the video. I put a thing on Instagram, had one in the community tab, and she won. So I sent that package out today. I know a lot of people say that. Okay, so this is funny about the cold weather. So my mother-in-law used to say, I like it the hotter the better, the hotter the better. And they go to Florida for the winter. Well, she has started saying she cannot stand the heat anymore. Like it's starting to bug her. And while she doesn't like love the cold, it doesn't bother her as much anymore. And she just like cannot stand to be hot. And I cannot stand to be hot. Like I would rather be cold any day. Like pile on clothes, cuddle up, whatever, but I cannot stand to be hot. But yeah, Carla said, what comes first in your life? Go ahead, guys. What comes first in my life? I'll let you guys all answer. Because I hope people know. 70-year-old. Ding, ding, ding. Christy is the winner. Aw. Yes, absolutely. God, Jesus is the most important thing in my life. And I definitely hope that everybody who knows me knows that. Like, if not, then I'm doing something wrong. Oh my gosh, being hot, like, yes, and family next, absolutely. Being hot makes me become kind of like this monster of sorts. Like, when I get overheated, I get angry. Like, I cannot handle it. Yes, Sue. Yeah, I just get like, ugh, it makes me feel sick. It's, I don't sweat properly, which sounds weird, but I don't. So I don't like release heat well. And so I get overheated very easily, and it makes me sick. Like it can make me physically sick. It can make me pass out. I can't really do baths. I cannot do hot tubs or things like that. Like I just get, oh, it's awful. So like if it's hot in the summer and I'm going to be outside, crotchety old lady. Aw. Aw. Oh my gosh. Oh, here's my nails for Christy. I actually did a video showing how I do them, so I will have that out soon. But I was like, okay, I want to do something kind of Halloween, but I don't want to do like, I didn't want to do black and orange, so I was like, maybe I'll do this. Oh, thank you so much, Sally, for being here. Good luck with getting all your to-dos done. And yes, Anne, when it is hot, and oh my gosh, actually that's something, Senior! Oh, thank you! Yay, hello! That's my unicorn friend. Oh, yay. I have my palette, my Gourmand Girls That Time of the Year palette on today. It was the second look I did on my video of the 3 looks. Thank you. I absolutely love it. And I don't have lashes on today though, but I love this look. It's so easy and just makes me so happy. That nostalgia shade, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. My hair is all crazy from putting that hat on. Aw. The other night my husband, I put my hands like on his hands, and he's like, oh my gosh, what is the matter with you? He's like, do you have no circulation? I'm like, I know, because my hands and feet are always freezing. It's funny, like, because sometimes I can be warm, but my hands will feel cold, like to the touch, not necessarily to me, but it's funny. It's like one of my favorite things to do is like go up to him, like, oh, I'm just gonna give you a hug, and then stick your hands up his shirt, and because you know they're freezing, he's like, oh, come on. Or I put my cold feet on him in bed. Yeah, I'm afraid of that. Aw. It's so funny seeing you, because sometimes I'll go to bed at night with socks on. But I always wake up in the morning and it's hilarious. I take them off in the night and I don't even know it, but I fold them. Like they will be sitting like on my nightstand or on the floor folded. And I said, I know it's been getting cold here because oh, thank you so much. I want to play with it so much more. Yeah, I'm dreading menopause and hot flashes. I'm not dreading menopause for the fact of being done with the girly junk that drives me nuts, but there's so many other things that come with it that I'm not looking forward to. But yeah, I've been waking up the past 2 mornings and the socks are still on my feet. So I'm like, okay, it's getting chilly. I was saying, like, my son today, my middle son, Riley, who's 19, it was just him and I left at home this morning before I was getting ready to leave, and he was getting ready to leave for work. And yeah, I know, Penny. Thankfully, my childhood best friend who does my thyroid stuff, she specializes in like hormones, going like menopause stuff and all that. So I'm thankful because I'm going to be utilizing her. So hopefully she'll be able to help me out and make it, you know, as less miserable as possible. Yes, for sure. But yeah, Riley said to me today, he goes, I'm turning on the heat. And I'm like, no, you're not. And he goes, yes, I am. It's freezing in here. And I'm like, no, you're not turning on the heat. He goes, Mom, it's 61 degrees in here, which does feel cold because it's been like, it was like 40 something in the morning. And so I'm like, no, you're not turning the heat on. I'm like, everyone is leaving. Like, everyone else is already gone. You and I are both leaving for the day. Like, there's going to be no one here. I'm not having the heat on in the house when no one's here. And he's like, yeah, but then it'll be warm when we get home. And I'm like, no, because I knew it was going to be like 73 today. So I'm like, the house will warm up in the afternoon. So just leave it alone. Yesterday, I was here all day, and it was chilly and like most of the day, I'm not going to lie. But I just put on slippers and my little fuzzy jacket thing, and I was good. Aw, that's horrible, Stacy. Yeah, it's funny though, Christy, 61 feels very cold in the house once it starts getting warm or cold outside. Oh, that's awful. I'm not looking forward to that. Um, and like, because I used to keep the house at 65 in the winter, and like my husband and stuff would complain all the time. It's way too cold in here. It's freezing in here. I'm like, just put some extra clothes on. Like, quit being a baby. Like, I was being all cheap. So like 2 years ago, I gave in, and now we keep it at 67 in the winter. But our house is fairly chilly. Like, I do not keep it super hot in the winter because it's expensive. Like, we use propane, you know, we live in the country and propane is not cheap. And so, yeah, so I try not to use too much. But it has been cold the last 2 mornings. I have to admit, when I got up this morning and went to get in the shower, I was like, oh my gosh, like it was kind of miserable to get undressed to get in the shower. And then you're like, you know, when you get out, it's going to be cold. This is true. I actually, exactly, Christy. Yep, put on more clothes. Aw, man. I need to go get my blood work done just to check my thyroid. Oh no. You know, it's so funny because there's stuff that happens with medications that you don't realize. My grandma had gotten where she was doing this all the time, okay? And finally, somebody was like, why do you keep coughing like that? And she's like, I don't know, you know. Well, so she went to the doctor and she was kind of telling the doctor, like, cough all the time. People are noticing it. It was her blood pressure medication was making her cough like that. And so they switched her to something else. I'm like, that's so weird. And she said, too, that she was getting like short of breath all the time. And it was from the blood pressure medication. And I can't remember what it was called, but so they switched her to something else. And she's like, it made a world of difference. Actually, we noticed it because she would walk a little ways and then she would like have to kind of stop. Like she couldn't catch her breath. And we're like, what is the matter with you? And it was that because once they switched her blood pressure medication, she was fine. Yeah, I wonder if it's the same one. Do you remember what it was called? If you said it, if it's the same thing, I'd know. I can't think of it right now. But yeah, I hate that. And like I have a friend who she has to take anxiety medication, but the anxiety medication she takes gives her hand tremors. So she has to make or take uh medication to make her tremors stop. It's like, oh my gosh, like you get there's so many different that's medication just freaks me out. Like I try not to have to take anything. That's why I'm like weird about the um migraine stuff because it's like kind of heavy duty medication. Like I don't know. I'm just weirded out by side effects. You just never know. 10 people and 10 thumbs up. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Uh, you know, and it's funny too, like with blood work and stuff, I I'm fine with it. Like I'm not like scared of it or anything. I hate the smell of the alcohol pad, which is funny because like at home, I use an alcohol pad before I'm doing my nails, right? I don't think anything of that smell. But as soon as I smell it in like a medical facility, mm-mm. Oh my gosh, Sue, that's scary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't know. There's so many different ugh. But yeah, there's something about the smell of the alcohol when they get it out to rub it on you before they're gonna take the blood. And then I'm fine. Okay, that's I know that's not what the name was. I can't remember what it was, but that doesn't sound familiar, so I wonder if it's a common with some, you know, a couple different ones. Must be. Oh my gosh, these little gnats we keep getting. I think they're like, oh my gosh, let me in where it's warm. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, I'm fine as long as I don't look. Like when they do it, I just, you know, turn my head the other way because if I see the needle go in, I'll probably pass out. And it's like stitches on people or stuff like that, I'm fine seeing. If it's on me, pass out because times when I had to have surgeries and had stitches, I could not look at it. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look. But yeah, that's where I get mine on the inside of the elbow. I think I have pretty good veins though, actually. So that's helpful because, yeah. Actually, though, I hate getting IVs. I feel like they usually have a hard time with me on IVs. And like that for me, when I have to have certain things done, is like the thing I'm the most nervous about. Like I do have a colonoscopy quite a few years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, the IV. Like I was so freaked out about it. And a girl that I knew from church worked at the medical center where I was going. And she was working that day when I came in. And so I was like, oh, like, you know, just like telling her like, oh my gosh, I'm so freaked out about the IV. Like that's what's making me, her name's Shelly actually. And she was like, oh my gosh, no, you know, so she came in there with me and she's like, here, I brought you this nurse who's really good at IVs and whatever. And so it was good because like when I had my kids, especially with my second son, Riley, my husband goes, you turned a color like a person should not turn. And I said, I thought I was going to throw up and pass out because this girl just kept rooting around at my hands for the IV. And it was, oh yeah, I can imagine that too. And it was so painful and just gross. And like I said, I mean, I used to have really good pain tolerance. It's not as good now. But it was awful. I couldn't even stand it. She did it both hands, multiple times tried. Finally brought someone else in and they got it in. And I was like, I was about to die. Like to me, obviously it wasn't worse than actual childbirth, but it was awful. I couldn't stand it. So that's always what I like when I went in to have my thyroid removed. I wasn't scared of thyroid surgery. I was scared about getting the stupid IV because I'm like, I'll be asleep when they do this. I don't care about that. But I freaked my husband out so bad when I had to go. I'm so mean. When I had to have thyroid, like my thyroid removed, I like looked up online, but she's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And showed him pictures of how they like position your neck and stuff when they're like doing the surgery. And it showed pictures of it like open, you know, or they're taking it out. And he's like, don't do that. Like, why would you do that to me? I'm like, like, I'm the one getting it done. Why is it freaking you out? That's pretty funny. I did not look at pictures for his back surgery though. Penny, that sounds terrible. I bet they had to be hard too. I always think about that with people with insulin and stuff. Oh, that's awful. Um, just to get yourself to the point where you can inject stuff into yourself because it's so unnatural to inflict pain on ourselves. And so like that is such a oh my gosh, I just can't even, yeah, it's unnatural. So it like would be so hard to do. That's why I always think about like the reality of how desperate people are who are drug users. Like you have to be so desperate to have this to be able to like want to do that to yourself. Like people who get where they're like doing it between their toes and stuff. Ugh. Oh my gosh, that freaks me out so bad. I cannot, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just like a level that is beyond comprehension for me. Yeah. I mean, can you even imagine? Like I had actually my friend Shannon that I went out to lunch with today. We were just talking about ingrown toenails. Ooh, IV in your neck. Yeah, definitely in the hands. Actually, I think the one time, oh no, I think with Riley they might have ended up putting it in my arm because they couldn't get it in my hands. I don't know. It was terrible. Um, but that was a pain because you can't. They didn't want to put it there because during labor and stuff because you can't bend your arm, and so it was like, you know, super uncomfortable. Yeah. Ooh, not good at all. But yeah, we were talking about ingrown toenails, and I don't know if any of you have ever had them, but they're extremely painful. And I used to like chronically have them when I was younger, and I had them surgically removed 6 times. Aw. And they would just keep coming back. And it was so painful to have them removed. They were so painful to have. I still, like when people walk by me, I pull my feet close to me. Like it's like a reaction because for so long, my toes hurt. And it was both feet, the big toes. My toes hurt so bad for so long that I was like always super like worried about people bumping them. It was horrendous. And like, my socks would have like marks on them because they would like ooze. That's gross, but it's true. They were so painful. And so I actually ended up going to get off there Juvia's place telling me there's a 6-hour flash sale. Oh, I already have the Nubian 2 palette, so I don't need that. But 60% off if somebody wants to know. My little text five on them. But yeah, I finally went to a doctor who like cauterized them, which was horrifically painful, but I've never had them since. And that was in my early 20s. So I'm like so thankful that he did that because, oh my gosh. But yeah, like ingrown toenails were no joke. And having to have needles put in them to be able to take them out, oh, it was awful. It is awful. I'm like, why do these dumb things have to happen? Yes, 60% off. It was terrible. But yeah, like I said, thankfully that last doctor that cauterized them, like they've never come back. And that was the first thing I noticed when my oldest son was born. I looked at I said, oh, look at his toenails. Oh no, I think he's going to have ingrown toenails. And he does have issues with them. Not like I did. Like he can cut them out and like they're usually okay. Like it just comes back every once in a while. So he doesn't have them, like he doesn't get like oozing and stuff. I think it happened to him maybe once. But I knew it right when he was born and saw his feet. I'm like, oh no. Like, poor kid. My dad had him really bad. He actually has one big toe he doesn't have a nail on at all. Like they finally just took the nail completely out because he had so many issues with it and stuff. And like his other toenail is really ugly. And he would laugh if he heard me say that. He tortures me. Like, okay, so one year was it my birthday? I think it was my birthday. He gave me this little jewelry box, you know, like the little velvety jewelry box. And I'm like, my dad gets us jewelry and stuff sometimes, so it wasn't like completely out of the realm of possibility, but whatever. But he was acting kind of funny. Aw, Sue. You're like, come on, people. Oh no, Myrna. I hope that they. Do I say your name right? Is it Myrna or is it Myrna? I never, like, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. I said it in a video the one day and I actually like edited because I was like second guessed myself and then like said it again and I'm like, hopefully that's right. I want to make sure. Myrna. Okay. Okay. I am saying it right then. I'm like, I want to make sure. I feel bad if I'm completely mispronouncing your name. So I opened up this little box and it was his toenail that they removed. Because I hate feet and everyone knows it. It's like a huge thing. Like everyone, keep your feet away from me. Like I will punch you. I cannot, they're so disgusting. I don't want people to touch my feet. Like I've never gotten a pedicure. People don't rub my feet. Like, I mean, my husband will touch my feet every once in a while, but I'm not like, I'm not big on it. And like, I don't touch his feet and he's not touching me with his feet. And like, I'm just so disgusted by feet. And so to have ingrown toenails like that was really bad. And then, so he gave me that stupid toenail in a box. And at first I was like, what is it? Is this like a shell or something? And he started laughing. I thought it was like some weird little shell. And he's like, it's my toenail, like whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're such a jerk. Which one time there was something and he was like, I wanted something. I was like a teenager. And he's like, you have to lick my toenail, like as the other girls. I'm like, no, I'm not. And obviously I didn't. He didn't make me, but it's like always just been my thing. So the next year, I gave him one of my kids' umbilical cord stump in a little box, all dried up. So this is the weird things my family does. Welcome to my weirdness. But memories, right? I mean, how many people have those kind of memories? Pretty spectacular. But oh my gosh, it was so funny. Yeah, we love to like, my dad loves to torture us. Especially me. I feel like he definitely, but that is his, yes, payback. That's his like goofy way of showing love. Like he just loves to like torment you and do goofy things to you. And that's how my son Riley is. He is exactly the same way. It's like, oh my gosh, child. He's always doing something to me. And he cracks me up too because he'll be like, if I go to hug him, he's like, ugh, like don't hug me. But he totally like lets you hug and he'll hug you back. And that boy will let me stand there and hug him for like a solid minute. And he doesn't even move. He lets me do it and he's hugging me back. But he acts like he hates it. But everybody loves, I mean, I shouldn't say everybody loves a hug. I do think everyone loves a hug. I will say that. I don't think everybody loves a hug from just anybody, but everybody loves hugs. Like that's just like a human, like we need that, you know, whatever. Like, cause my bestie Ann, she is not a hugger. She does not like hugs. Everybody knows it, but she'll hug me. She'll hug me multiple times. Like today, I think we hugged twice. Like it just depends on the person, but everybody needs hugs. Like hugs are my absolute favorite thing in the world. I love it. I love it so much. Hugs and giving gifts. Those are my two favorite things. Which my friend Shannon and I handed her a little present. This was so funny too. So when we went, when we were at our church camp this summer, my friend Shannon, her mom comes from Ohio and camps too. And she had all these like, you know, badminton rackets and birdies and whatever. And some got, aw, that's awful. I'm sorry. She had, one of the kids hit one of them up on top of their camper. And they have a fifth wheel, and so it's pretty high. No, do they have a fifth wheel? No, maybe they just have a camper. Whatever, but it's pretty high. But they couldn't get to it because they had been using brooms and stuff and got things off before, but that one they couldn't get off. So it was this bright green one, and it lights up, like when you hit it. And so she's like, oh, and it was one of my mom's favorite ones, whatever. So when we left camp that day, so they left ahead of time with their trailer. Well, we always go back like the next day or a couple days later to get our trailer. And so they had left a little bit earlier, and we were just in our Jeep, and we had our stuff with us, and we pulled out onto the road, and my husband was like, hey, I think that's that birdie, of Shannon's mom's. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. So I got out and got it, right? So that was in the beginning of August. So all this time I've had it, and I was going to send a picture with it, like doing something stupid, have it on my head, I don't know, something. And I just never did. But it's been sitting here. And so we kept trying to get together to go to lunch after Bible study and stuff, and just one thing after another kept happening, so we weren't getting to do it. And my oldest son loved being in the swing. He didn't want me to hold him that much. I mean, he'd let me hold him, but he loved being in the swing. And so I feel like a neglectful mom that just sticks her kid in the swing all the time. But that was what made him happy. He like didn't want to be held all the time. But so today I was like, I gave her this wrapped gift, and it was just a little candle. And then I'm like, but here's the real gift. And she's like, okay. And I pull out of my purse this birdie. And she just starts cracking up. She's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe you have that. And she's like, my mom's going to be so happy. It's one of her special light up ones. I'm like, I know. As soon as we pulled out and saw it in the road, Brian was like, hey, it's their birdie. So we stopped and picked it up. But so it was so funny. So she was extra giggly about that today when I gave it to her. Like, I don't know. We're such dorks. But I thought it was pretty funny. Kept that birdie all that time. It's been like floating around my room. I keep moving it. Thank you so much, Christy. I keep messing with my hair because I put a hat on that I had made to show it, and it's like my hair is all crazy. Thank you so much for being here, Stacy. I hope you have a really good day. Good rest of your week. I'm excited. There's like a lot of good things happening over these next couple weeks, and some things I'm not super excited about because I just found out my husband's they're setting him for like a conference thing for work, and it's the 2 days, like he'll leave on a Tuesday night, and then bye, Christy, I love you, take care, heal up well, my friend. And yeah, so he leaves on a Tuesday night. He'll get home Thursday afternoon. I leave Thursday morning and don't get home till Sunday night. And so I realized that is the longest we've been apart from each other since I went on a mission trip to Mexico 13 years ago. Like, we do not. Hey, Auntie Barbara Jean. Yay. I hope you were out doing something fun. Shopping or something fabulous. But yeah, we don't like being away from each other. That is not, like, I hate it. My girl shopping weekend is with all my mom, my grandma, all my aunts, my cousins who are 21 and older, the women. And so it's a little bit different when I'm there because I'm with like all my family. So that doesn't bother me as much because I'm kept busy with that. But like, he hates he loves that I go do it. He's happy for me, whatever, but he doesn't like, being at home sleeping by himself. And he would do 5th grade camp. He was like a chaperone for it every year. So he would go for, was it 2 or 3 nights? Maybe just 2. Yeah, 2 nights. Thank you. Ooh, that's a pretty dang good deal, Barbara Jean. I like that deal. I want that deal. But yeah, so we just really aren't apart from each other that much. Like, the worst part is sleeping at night. I just can't stand getting in like the bed, and like it just feels weird when you're used to somebody being there. And so we're like, oh, this is gonna be so weird because like it's gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 nights. Yeah. I'm like, yuck, I don't like that. He's like, okay, well, at least you are only 2 nights by yourself at home. I'm 3 nights by myself at home. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I always tell my kids, we don't even know if 5th grade camp is going to happen anymore, which is kind of a bummer because my niece is in 5th grade right now, and this would be her year to go. And that's like a huge thing at our school. When we were kids, we actually went in 2nd grade, which those people were crazy. I don't know what they were doing, taking a bunch of 2nd graders to camp. Yeah. So, I don't, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that question. So they take the fifth graders and they spend, like when we were in second grade, we just spent one night, but the fifth graders they take for 2 nights to this camp. And so that was pretty cool. And my husband, whatever, is a chaperone for that. But so my niece should be going this year, and that's something like at the school that's always a big thing, like fifth grade camp, because then you go to middle school and sixth grade. Yeah, I agree. I'm just gonna pass right on over that. And so I'll be sad if they don't do it anymore, but like some of the staffing has changed, so the people who ran it aren't necessarily there anymore. So I don't know. But I used to say before, when I, didn't know like this could be going, I thought maybe this could be going on for years and years, that once my kids moved out, I'm like, hey boys, when your dad goes to chaperone fifth grade camp, one of you is going to have to come and stay with me. Because I'm like, I do not want to be in the house all by myself. Like, that is not my thing. My mom is not like that at all. She's like, I don't care. She's got this big log home, all these windows. She has no problem. Like at night, we always talk about, it's like a fishbowl. When you're in there, like you can't see out, but anybody can see in because, whatever. So that weirds me out. Like I would never want to be at their house by myself at night. And my mom's like, what? Like she's just not, that kind of stuff doesn't bother her. And no, there's no way. I don't like being home at my house at night by myself. So I'm like, I think if he's ever gone for some reason, like once my kids are moved out, I'm going to have to go stay somewhere else or have someone come over. I'll have a slumber party with a friend or something because I'm like, I cannot do it. No, thanks. And maybe it's because I watch too much true crime. Could be. Just maybe. But I can't help it. Oh my goodness, ladies, I've been on here for a long time. Well, I don't want to keep you all. I've been just jabbering away as I do very well. And, but if you guys have any questions for me, I would be happy to answer that. Not really weird ones, so like, yeah. But otherwise, I don't want to keep you all day. I just love coming on here on Tuesdays and getting to chat with you. It's so fun. So I'm excited. Just makes me very happy. Me too, Penny. Thank you so much. And thank you for being a moderator for me. That's why I'm like, ooh, because I think who do I have? I think I have you, Clara, and Debbie are moderators. So, yes, thank you. Because, sometimes you just get somebody who's a little out of whack. Aw, thank you, Mama Glow. That's Gloria, but I call her Mama Glow because she said I'm like her. I'm like her, YouTube daughter. Yes. Good looking out. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here again and chatting with me. If there's something, feel free, like if there's something you want me to kind of talk about on a Tuesday or something, you can send me a DM on Instagram at DanielleG78. Yeah, DanielleG78. On there, if there's something like you'd like for me to discuss on a Tuesday or something like that you'd like to know about me or whatever, I would be happy, or down in the comments on here after whatever. So, aw, I'm so sorry, Sue. That's actually, my husband used to travel for work, and I hated it so much because my kids were really little then, the two oldest ones. And actually, when that huge, listen to me, I'm like, I'm gonna go, and now I'm just gonna get into a story. So I hope you don't mind. I can do a Topic Tuesday. That's a good idea. Like, so that's probably what I'll do. I'll put something in the community tab and on Instagram for people to leave me topics that they'd like me to talk about. So keep an eye out for that. I'll do that. But yeah, when that big, power outage thing happened, what year was that? It must have been, what was that, like 2003 or probably 2003. Because my son Riley was just little. Aw, I'm sorry, Penny. Yeah, I can't, we like do everything together, so, okay, so maybe it was 2002. What month was it? Because he was born in May. No, because we moved into that house after, it had to be 2003. Because Riley was born in 2002 in May, and the house we lived in, we moved in before he turned a year old. Or right around when he was a year old. So, and that was the house when it happened, because he was traveling, so he was out of state when that all happened, and nobody knew what was going on, like if it was like a attack of some kind or something. No, no, no. When there was a huge power grid thing that it took out like states, like part of the country was out, and it was for like a few days because my husband, there were no flights, there was like nothing that they could do, and nothing they could do, and oh my gosh, and so he was sitting at the airport and just talking to this other guy who was trying to get home to his family in Michigan. And so they decided to, yes, it was. Okay. Because I thought it was around June or something like that. Yes. Okay. So he was just little, and my oldest son was like, had just turned 4. So they were just, little kids. And my husband ended up, him and this guy rented a car and drove back to Michigan. So he's like with this total stranger, because they both had families and kids and wanted to get back to their wives. But I remember it was terrible because it was super hot. It was like during the day, we tried to stay outside and do things. And, like I was trying to keep the kids busy. And we lived in Port Huron at the time, which the Blue Water Bridge to Canada is right there. And they were worried at the time that if it was something, terrorist related, that you would have to worry about things like that getting bombed or something, and because nobody really knew what was happening yet. And so it was like terrifying because I lived right there. I mean, like literally like 2 miles from the bridge. And so it was just awful, and it was so hot. And I remember we had you don't have electricity, so we had run the bathtubs full of water to have water in case we needed drinking water besides what we had. And thankfully my parents and my husband's parents and stuff, like we all live fairly close to each other. Now I live really close to them, but when I lived there, I was like about half an hour away. And but it was like, the gas situation and everything. So it's not like you just be driving around, going places to, do stuff. And I remember it just at night it being miserable because it was so hot and there's just no air moving. And I've got these a baby and like a 4-year-old, and they're miserable crying. Oh, that was terrible. Like, and so that was one of the last times, like when my husband was traveling for work, that I was like, I do not want to do this anymore. Like, it was awful when he would leave and travel for work. I hated it. So I have the utmost respect for people who have husbands like in the military, or, who travel for work or whatever. My one friend, it's so scary. My one friend's husband works border patrol, so he was just down in Texas for the past couple of months, and so they have 3 kids, and so she's doing that on her own, and she has health issues and stuff, and she's got to be doing that, and so that's stressful for both of them, whatever, and the kids, everything. So it's like, oh my gosh, I have so much respect for people who go through that, because man, I did not enjoy that at all. And that was a big part of like, then my husband got the job where he's at now, and it was like just such a blessing the way things fall into place, because we've been so much happier. So yeah, much better. Yeah, it was awful, because then you're like a single mom then, and when you're married you don't want to feel like a single mom, and it's like, it was difficult for sure. And that was back in a time where I had some issues going on, like my alcohol issues and stuff. Like, I probably shouldn't have been home by myself with little kids. Like, I wasn't super bad in it at that point. That was a little later, but it was just like, yeah, it was a rough time in life. Man, whew, so glad to be where we're at now. That's my husband and I talk about that. Like, oh my gosh, like, we don't have a ton of money. We don't have fancy things. But we're so stinking happy. Like, we're, involved in everything our kids have done with sports or things like that. We've always been involved in and been at everything. And, be able to go to like our niece's dance recitals, and, just be close to family and do things, with family, and, nephew's football games and stuff like that. And it's like, that's such a blessing. Like, that is the most important thing to me. I don't really care about traveling. I don't care about having a big house. I don't want to clean it. But I'm so thankful for the things that I'm able to do, and like the memories that are made, and that, people feel important because we can spend time with them. And they are important to me, so I want them to feel that way. And so, yeah, I'm very thankful for it. But okay, now I will stop talking. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble. And yes, I will be putting out on Instagram and on the community tab for Topic Tuesdays. So think of some topics you'd like me to talk about, and we can get into those. I love you too, Penny. I love you, Barbara Jean. I love you guys all so much. You're so sweet. And thank you for listening to my rambling antics all the time. Bye, Sue. Thank you. Yeah, it's supposed to be, gosh, let me see. Let me see if it tells me. Oh, I took the weather app off my watch. Ugh. Okay, well, anyway, because I think it's supposed to be now in the 50s during the day from here on out. So yes, it is true fall in Michigan. So, yep. All right, love you guys. I will talk to you next week. But of course, I'll always talk to you in the comments on my other videos for the week. So, all right, bye.